Hello, this is Sharon Sarago, and today we're going to do noun-noun agreement. Now, our last lesson was about subject-verb agreement, and that was pretty straightforward. We saw that the subjects and the verbs of sentences have to agree with each other. So they're both either singular or they're both plural. When we get to noun-noun agreement, it's a little different. We have one noun that refers to another noun. They're generally the same person or the same thing, and we just have to be sure that they also agree. So either the noun that agrees with another noun is singular or both of them are plural. So let's take a look and see if we can understand this a bit better. This question, as the title suggests, deals with nouns agreeing with other nouns. And just as the subject has to agree with a verb in number, a noun referring to another noun has to agree in number too. So let's take a look at an example. Josh and Jerry both plan to become an engineer. Well, it's a very strange setup, isn't it? Because you have two people here, Josh and Jerry, and yet the sentence says very clearly they want to become an engineer. Why not engineers? Why can't Josh be an engineer and Jerry be an engineer? That would make two engineers. And therein lies the problem, because what it says is Josh and Jerry are going to become an engineer. Clearly, engineer does not agree. It is singular. Josh and Jerry are plural. That's the problem. So, in order to fix that, we have to say Josh and Jerry both plan to become engineers. So, we're going to practice this a bit. I just want to say this. I've been teaching English for 30 years. And I've never seen this in a textbook. So when I started running into it many years ago on the College Board test, I sort of thought that maybe they made it up themselves. I just have never seen anybody test over that, and have not seen it in any textbooks. It's possible that I could have overlooked it, but I didn't know it. Anyway, it's on the test, and we have to come to terms with it and answer the questions here. So this sentence is another example. Many of Clara's business associates are unhappy with their current positions and are studying to be a financial consultant. Well, we're talking about associates. What if Clara had 1,000 associates? They can't just all crawl into that one body called a financial consultant. So if consultant is referring back to associates, then consultant has to be plural so that it will agree with that word. Here's another example. Dieting and exercising are an example of ways a person can go about losing weight effectively. Well, dieting and exercising are two things, and you can't call it an example. That's the problem. So what I'd like you to do is to fix these things for me. So on your paper that you've already printed out, find out what's wrong and mark through the words that are incorrect, and then write in the words that you think would make this sentence correct. And actually, this is all that we have. It's such a very, very small subject to deal with, and we'll just go right on to our test-taking practice. We've got our passage-based testing here where you have passages. Just remember that those of you who are taking the SAT in October are going to see this kind of format. It will be a passage, a reading passage, and you will have all of your grammar questions here. You will not see that other kind of test. So I think we've got 2 pages of it here. On your printed materials, of course, it's just 1 page. And then we have all the answers. So while this is not real difficult, the concept isn't very difficult, if you have trouble with any of these sentences, please, please, please mark them on your paper so that when we meet on Monday nights, we can talk about these and clarify any kind of problem that you have. So remember that you need to review, review, review. And some of our lessons, like the pronoun lesson that's going to come up tomorrow, is very long, and there's just so much stuff in it that if you do not just simply thumb through those pages every night and look at it and remind yourselves of what it was that we talked about, what you learned, I don't see how you could possibly remember it all. There's going to be too much. So I'm not talking about spending hours on it. All I want you to do is thumb through it, look at it, and remind yourselves about what it was that we talked about so that you can remember all these rules, because you're trying to prepare for October. That's a few months away, and there's going to be a lot of stuff. So have fun, and I will see you in a few days with more stuff.